Early in the morning,
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and I'm back with another episode of Topical Tea today. And with this one here, ironic. The irony. Yo, this story isn't actually funny. It's not funny, but it's ironic. So I'm gonna have fun with this story, it is what it is. So without further ado, let's get into this. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new, if you're not new, if you watch me, but you ain't subscribed, click the subscribe button. What you doing? Press the like button for me. I'd appreciate if you watch this all the way through, hit the bell to be notified, all of that. So listen, who is Derrick Jaxn? He is a relationship advice guy, like a relationship guru. Kind of like, you know, I've done videos on relationships before, innit? Like I've done videos on why a man wouldn't want to chat to you after sleeping with you, or this and this, and I've done bare videos on relationship, but every single time I do videos, I say I'm not an expert. I sit here on my channel and I give advice. That's what I do, but I categorically say I'm not an expert. I'm literally a human being. Like, I'm not an idol. Don't look up to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just a human being on your screens. You get me? So here, yeah, he based his whole brand, his whole image, his whole career around being a relationship guru, right? And giving women an insight into the male perspective, giving male advice, giving couples advice on how to better their relationship, how to strengthen their relationship. Do you understand? So how ironic is it that this motherfucker cheated on his wife? Listen, no one's safe. No one's safe. So Derrick basically burst on the scene in 2012 when he released blogs. And in this blog, he detailed how his relationship with his college sweetheart failed. But his college sweetheart is the woman, is his wife now. When they reconciled after college, they got together, they got married, they had kids, and he documented that. So he documented that on social media, and that's how he built this kind of persona online. Over the years, he released loads and loads of books detailing how relationships can go from strength to strength, but all kind of throughout his time, he always alludes to kind of religion and alludes to God. So what's happened now? What's the revelation? What's going on? Why am I making a video on our relationship God advice guru, Derrick Jaxn? Because him and his wife released a video on his Instagram, a 7-minute video, basically admitting that he's cheated on his wife. Now, a quick article I found has explained the revelation that's occurred. I'm just going to quickly read a paragraph just to make it a little bit easier. It says, Jackson's happy relationship status was challenged when murmurs of an alleged affair between him and a then unnamed woman began to circulate around gossip sites and comment threads. Don't lack, Jaxn. Don't lack. This week, a woman named Candice de Medeiros, I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know how to play. Candice de Medeiros alleged that she engaged in an affair with him. So audio is leaked from Candice, which claims that the two, her and Jaxn, Derrick Jaxn, went to Miami together. Had an affair, went to Miami together. They had a luxury weekend, a vacation. He invited her to his home, the home in which him and his wife share a bed together. There's selfies of the two. So he originally came online and said that nothing happened, and then now he's come online and explained the whole situation. Now I'm gonna show some clips and I'm gonna analyze the clips. I'm gonna give my opinion on the clips and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's start with how the video begins.
But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I wanna be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex. To say a lunch or something like that, I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out, definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took. And definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now.
Can we just take that in? Guys, did you take that in? Did you see what he said? Did you see what he admitted on camera? Now, listen, relationships, communication, honesty, these are all things that are required in a successful relationship. However, look at the body language. Look at the body language of his wife. Now, I'm gonna explain it in a bit. She explains her point of view and she explains how she has moved on from this, how they're working through it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell anyone, especially my audience, that she's lying. However, me being 150 billion IQ and a master psychologist, body language is harder to hide. Do you understand? Now, look at her face. First things first, yeah. Forget all. Before I even get analytical, look at what is happening here. He has literally come on camera, grips in his wife's hand like this, literally like this. She's probably trying to go like this. She's trying to leave and do a runner, but he's like this. You know, like, you can see the hands vibrating where he's gripping it so hard. This is just weird to me. This is just weird and awkward to me. It's not my relationship, nor is it my career. But seeing that situation, seeing her face, seeing what they talk about, it's just a weird setup to me personally. However, each to their own, innit? But look at her body language. Look at her microaggressions. When he says, just to be clear, this wasn't just talking, I had sex with women, she's like this. Like, very subtly, when she doesn't talk, more times she's like this in her own world, just staring at the camera. But there's some microaggressions she can't hide. And then he was like, yeah, it wasn't just this, and she was just like, she'll kind of go, like, they're subtle, but they speak volumes. It suggests that she hasn't actually fully got over this situation. Do you want to know the craziest thing about this whole situation? This guy, Derrick Jaxn, coined the term, black men don't cheat. That saying used to go around years ago. Black men don't cheat, black men don't cheat. Do you know how funny that is? First things first, it's ridiculous. Everyone cheats, as in like male, female, black, white, Asian. That is ridiculous. That obviously back in the day, I'm like, yeah, black men don't cheat. Yeah, 100% black men don't cheat. No, everyone else cheats. That just makes it extra ironic that he coined the term black men don't cheat. He coined it. So the same man that says black men don't cheat is out here grips in his wife's hand like this, saying, yeah, just to be clear, I wasn't just talking to other women, I was having sex with them too. So listen, a lot of people are wondering, why did she stay? Why is she still here? What's her thoughts on this? You know, she looked like she got a face like a slapped ass. What's her thoughts?
So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that, we are free and moving forward. So that's all I have.
So as you can see there, she says she stands next to him proudly. She feels no hurt or shame for what's happened. And what made the transition to forgiveness easier is he was seeking to improve his relationship with God, and also seeking the advice of people who were religious men. Now, this part of the video is interesting because I don't want to say she's lying. I don't believe she's lying. I believe her in the sense that I believe she wants to believe that. Does that make sense? And listen, I could be completely wrong. She's literally saying here, she's saying here categorically, she stands by him proudly. But the feeling I'm getting, that I'm not really getting that feeling just through her body language and what she even said. She even said that when it first happened, she left.
There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable. And it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. Why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality.
So her knee-jerk reaction, her gut reaction was to leave. I am a person that always bases my decisions off my gut. If my instincts is to leave and to be heartbroken and not to trust him, I believe that's how she feels. And how this religious part plays into it is interesting because he bangs on and on and on about religion and how he lost his way and how if it wasn't for the grace of God and realigning my morals with what God believes, I wouldn't have this and this. Fam, you weren't talking about that when you were out here dicking down other girls. You're talking about God and this and this. Now you've been caught, fam. It's one of them ones there, you've been caught. When you were cheating, you were out here spewing some real kind of advice about communication, advice about honesty, advice about here, there and everywhere. But now you've lost your way and you've been caught. It's almost like, you know when someone's an alcoholic or someone's addicted to drugs and substances, which I know what that feels like. It's easier to accept you're not in control. Do you understand? When you kind of think, you know what, it's out of my control, you can kind of give yourself an excuse. So for me, it's kind of like, oh, you know what? His excuse was, oh, I lost my way. I wasn't really focused on God's lessons and God's teachings. And because of that, because I lost my way, I was powerless to the temptations of females and other women. But for me, I don't buy it. It just seems a bit fishy to me. So I'm just gonna leave you with this final clip. This is where he mentions his final kind of summary advice, right? I want you to watch his wife's body language.
Everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9 years or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things, especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual covenant.
Yes.
You know, you cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower, your own values. You have to have the grace of God to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be. And it's because it's really only by God's grace that we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 would be here on this video, holding hands. Well, like a year ago, 7-8 months ago even, I couldn't see this happening. I thought it was over and I already had begun establishing my relationship with God. But that's the fruit of bringing things in alignment with God. And the mess that's been made, the mess that's now being made public from last year and years past, that's a result of getting out of alignment with doing things God's way. So that's where I stand. That's where we stand.
The moment he says you can't do this with your own intelligence, your own willpower, she's like, no. Like, for me, yeah, that's her knee-jerk reactions coming out again. She's going, you can't. And that goes to show, yeah, that her kind of human reaction, her female reaction, her reaction to being heartbroken, the XYZ, deep down, she's in pain. And the reason they've got through it is this understanding with God they have, which is fine. Now, I want to end on this. If that works for them, so be it. So be it. Who am I? I'm not no relationship expert. I'm not. Like, I sit here on YouTube and I give my opinion, and that's really what it is, because I need to make a living doing this shit. But at the end of the day, if that works for them, all good for them. If you can cheat with multiple women, if you can openly admit to your wife that you fucked other girls in the house that you sleep in, share, cook food in, the bed that you share in, and you can communicate that and get through it together with God and communication, then so be it. Me personally, I thought this whole thing was weird. People in the comment section are saying that it's giving me narcissism vibes, where he's a narcissist and rah, and she doesn't even want to be there. Listen, even though I gave my opinion, she could be telling the whole 100% the truth. If they are happy, so be it. Who cares? No one else should care. Do you know what I'm saying? But for me, it's weird. Her body language is screaming she ain't forgiving him, like deep down. And that's my take on it, really. Let me know your thoughts below. Would you take someone back if they cheated on you like that? I mean, how can a man say, I am a relationship guru, follow my advice, black men don't cheat, all while sitting here saying, I cheated on my wife, a big black man. Oh my days. Let me know your thoughts below, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Peace.